Hello and welcome to Painting the Cape. My name is Lance, and today we're in North Falmouth painting a cranberry bog. We place the horizon line, and then the barn, I'm just sketching it out with some transparent paint. It's burnt sienna. So that way I can take it right off if it's not working for me. I do a rough sketch with just my rag and finger. I get a new place on the rag here. And I'm going to start off with the sky. And we're going to make, since it's a warm, hot summer's day, I'm going to start off by exaggerating the warmth in the sky. As you can see, I'm mixing a little bit of orange and some white. As I go across the sky, I'm going to increase the warmth of it since the sun is coming from our right side there. So you can see I'm just bending the tone. I'm using the same pile, just bending it, make it a little bit warmer by adding a little bit of yellow, lemon yellow to it. And I keep working across like that. So there's three sections, light, medium, and dark. And then I'm going to do the same thing. Now I'm going to I'm working from the background to the foreground, so now I'm going to do the trees in the background. And I'm mixing the same pile, so I'm bending that color to green. And I just stick in the green here. Again, just with my finger. Like that. Now, if I want to darken the green up a little bit, I add a little purple to it. Stick it right there in the mix. And that darkens it right up. Remembering that the sun's coming from this direction. And then I'm also going to add the shadows. I'm going to add a little blue to it. I keep using the same pile. I just keep bending the color now. Make it a little bluer. And the shadows kind of follow the form. It's going to dip down to the cranberry bog. Then I'm going to put a shadow on this tree. And then also a shadow from a tree that's not in the picture. It's coming this direction. You just rough it in, and then later on, we'll tighten it up. I indicate where the center of the tree is. Get a new place on the rag. Now I'm going to put lots of light on the front of that barn. So I'll be doing 2 coats. The underpainting, which I want to be really hot, warm colors. I need to go a little bit. And then for the side, it's going to be a little bit warmer. Remember, this is just the underpainting. It's a real warm ground here. And as the ground gets closer to us, I warm it up a little. So the light is always going from one place to another. You got to figure out if it's getting warmer or cooler, lighter or darker, weaker or stronger. And on the far off distance, I'm going to add a little warmth to that. So the eye is pulled back in the corner there. Now I'm going back the same puddle and just change it, bend it. I'm going to bend it so it's slightly greenish. This will be for the cranberry bog itself. I stick it on there. So I notice that that's a little cold, so I'm going to add a little bit of orange to it. Orange is the warmest color, and so if you want to warm something up, you put orange in it. If you want to cool it down, you put white into it. Now as it goes further back, it becomes grayer. So you add a little bit of gray to the color that you're working with. So right now it looks really super bright, but on the next color that we're going to put on top of this, we're going to stack color. And the color that shines through is going to be the bright, and then the color on top is going to be the local color, the color that we're looking for. I'm going to add a little bit of warmth here so it can pull forward. I'm going to have a couple people walking down this pathway, and I want them to be able to be seen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it dark and make the figures light, so they stick out. So doing the foliage of the tree here. Now in the shadow, we're going to make that a little bluish. And if we want to dull it down slightly, add a little orange to the blue, and that dulls it right down. You mix it till you think you got it right, and you just stick it on there. And if it's not right, you do it again. You just keep doing it until it looks right to you. Now for the roof, I'm going to use a complementary color of the yellow and the green, which is purple. So I'm going to make it real light so it jumps out. So you can see that these colors are really exaggerated. And also, even though it's a green tree, I'm going to make it slightly violet. And behind it, if we want that tree to come out, we got to make the background of that dark. So I'm going to use green with a little bit of brown in it, and cut around it for the background hill that's there. But that way it's going to show off that tree more. Like that. And then come in and hit a few holes. So you can see that I'm doing all this quick painting with just a rag. And then I'll get more. Now in the foreground, you want that to be dark so your eye jumps over that and into the painting. So I'm going to make that dark. And in this case, I'm using a dark, dull green. Just slap it in there like that. Now this tree has a shadow. So the further the shadows get away from you, the weaker they get. And I'm going to have some trees over here. I'm going to cool them off a little bit with this turquoise that I have. And I go back and I hit the shadow side of the hills with that. Okay, so now we're ready to use the brush. And I start with a big brush, the biggest one I have. And I'm going to do the sky. And the sky is kind of a light blue. And it's a little bit of gray into it. So I add a little bit of orange to kill the blue. And lighten it up. See, you can keep messing with this pile until make it warmer, make it cooler, lighter, darker. And leave some holes in there so you can see the colors coming up. As you go across the sky, it's getting lighter and warmer. So now this side here, see, that's too cold, and I got a little orange to make it. Now I keep bending the color. I'm going to bend the front of this to put the trim on this building. And also have it a little bit on this tree over here that it's going to bounce off. So that tree sticks out more. Now the side is going to be a little bit more purple, so I'm going to bend the color again. And it's important to bend it from the pile that you're in, because that way it has a little bit of your last color in it, which makes it more harmonious. So things that are further away, they're grayer. Things that are closer, they're brighter and warmer. So we got to make this tree. So now I'm going to go to my next biggest brush. I work from big to small. You see, I keep messing with the color till I get it that I think is right. Then I stick it on there. And if it's right, I leave it. If it's not, I just keep adjusting until it feels right. So with this pile, you can see that I move around in the pile. So I try to get to the closest color that it might be. Now the color that I have on this barn, I want to move that a little warmer on that side, because it's going from warm to cool, like that. And then anything that's close to it, like let's say there's a bush here, you want the same kind of a color. So you can see that the light is bouncing around. I'm going to put this here. Now on this foreground here, I'm going to make it a little bit darker so your eye doesn't stay here, so it moves into the painting. So I'm going to use the complement of green. The complement of green is purple, yellow, and purple. And just scrub it in there. Now I'm going to switch over to my smallest brush that I'm using. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to indicate first the different grounds. The near ground, the middle ground, and the far ground. And I'm going to put a line right where they're separating. So let's say this ground goes from here around like that. And then the next ground is going to be the top of the barn. So I'm doing that with a dark color. so I can see it easily. And I'm following whatever I can grab onto there. Every time I draw, I'm correcting. Also, I got to put some windows in this. So I made white little squares. Now I'm just going to add some darker color for the window itself. So now it's just a matter of highlighting different areas. Like, for example, I want to make from one thing, go from one to the next. So let's say the light's coming from up here. So I want this light to be a little bit lighter, so it exaggerates that and then comes into that. So I want to make this a little bit lighter coming down this hill. That's a little bit cold, so I'm gonna add a little bit more. So you can see how it gets. That roof doesn't work for me. I'm gonna have to change that color. I think I'm gonna try a warmer color. And remember, just like you're designing what to put in, what to leave out, like if there's a tree that's not working for you, you can take it out. Just the same as that, you can make the day sunny or cloudy just by changing the coloration. So you're designing the picture along with designing the color. So I wanted a sunny day, so I'm really exaggerating the sunny day. I'm going to put some more light, warm up that tree on that side. And you want to try to connect different colors together, like if there's orange here, put orange someplace else, or if there's green there, I'm going to put a couple of cranberries here, just in the foreground. And now I'm going to use my palette knife. I want to pull the people over here, so I make the distant ground a little brighter. And I'm exaggerating it. So I get it on my palette knife and make a bead like that. Then come over here, like where the horizon would be, and stick this in and let the sun come down on it, like that. So now you keep fiddling with bringing things warmer, cooler, until you get what you want. I could add clouds this day and another. And now here's a finish picture of it. Okay, well, that's all the time we have for today. See you next week, and we'll have a brand new adventure.